alien is messing around with while he's got some time to burn.
2 or 3.
But maybe there is, a test and there is a better simulation you go to and a worse one. Maybe there are different difficulty levels. Maybe you want to play it on a harder setting next time.
I've just invested millions into this and become a co-owner of the company. It's a company called Ketone IQ. And this, for yourself, your team, do you think much about longevity?
A lot, yeah. That's probably the second most important problem, because if AI doesn't get us, that will.
What do you mean?
You're gonna die of old age.
Which is fine.
That's not good. You wanna die?
I mean...
You don't have to, it's just a disease. We can cure it. Nothing stops you from living forever. As long as universe exists. Unless we escape the simulation.
But we wouldn't want a world where everybody could live forever, right? That would be...
Sure.
That just took a different turn.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I say this because it's all I've ever known, that people die, but wouldn't the world become pretty overcrowded if...
No, you stop reproducing if you live forever. You have kids because you want a replacement for you. If you live forever, you're like, I'll have kids in a million years. That's cool. I'll go explore universe first. Plus, if you look at actual population dynamics, outside of like one continent, we're all shrinking, we're not growing.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's crazy that the more rich people get, the less kids they have, which aligns with what you're saying. And I do actually think if, I'm going to be completely honest here, I think if I knew that I was going to live to 1,000 years old, there's no way I'd be having kids at 30.
Right, exactly. Biological clocks are based on terminal points, whereas if your biological clock is infinite, you'll be like, one day.
And you think that's close? Being able to extend our lives?
It's one breakthrough away. I think somewhere in our genome we have this rejuvenation loop, and it's set to basically give us at most 120. I think we can reset it to something bigger.
AI is probably going to accelerate that.
That's one very important application area, yes, absolutely.
So maybe Brian Johnson's right when he says, don't die now. He keeps saying to me, he's like, don't...
Why you said that? Be wary of those who want to live forever. I want to know. I'm waiting. It's like this guy, Brian Johnson, and his Don't Die movement. Okay, I'm okay with living maybe like 200 and 300. Okay, well, let's run it back. You was not believing in God, right? And then something happened to me, to you, and it made you believe. What does the Bible say? We used to live way longer than that. Maybe it's not natural to die that early. No? Okay, so I'm okay to live like 250, like 300 years, as long as I can be super healthy and good looking. Like, I don't want to be for 300, or like for half of my life I don't want to be like I want to be healthy and youthful, full of energy, clear in my mind and stuff like that. That would be okay, but I'm probably not gonna want to live like 1,000 years. But then you don't know, like you get, you live, you build, you have power, and then you don't want to like lose it, and you want to maintain it, and it's like all these things, like, history repeats itself. I don't know.
Don't die now.
Don't die ever.
Because he's saying, like, don't die before we get to the technology.
Right, longevity escape velocity. You want to live long enough to live forever. If at some point every year of your existence, add 2 years to your existence through medical breakthroughs, then you live forever. You just have to make it to that point of longevity escape velocity.
Oh, we're
And he
making
thinks
it.
that
We're gonna
longevity,
make it.
escape velocity, especially in the world of AI, is decades away minimum, which means
We've got
As soon
about
as
50
we fully
years
understand human genome, I think we'll make amazing breakthroughs very
if I
quickly.
live till
Because we know some
80.
people have genes for living
I
way
got
longer.
50 years.
We have generations of people who are centenarians. So if we can understand that and copy that, or copy it from some animals which will live forever, we'll get there.
would you want to live forever?
Of course. Reverse the question. Let's say we lived forever and you ask me, do you want to die in 4 years? Why would I say yes?
I don't know, maybe.
You're just used to the default.
Yeah, I am used to the default.
And nobody wants to die. Like, no matter how old you are, nobody goes, yeah, I want to die this year. Everyone's like, oh, I want to keep living.
I wonder if life and everything would be less special if I lived for 10,000 years. I wonder if going to Hawaii
Yeah, I don't know
for the
about
first
forever,
time,
but-
or I don't know, a relationship. All of these things would be way less special to me if they were less scarce, and if I just
It could
I'd see
be
every-
individually less special, but there is so much more you can do. Right now, you can only make plans to do something for a decade or two. You cannot have an ambitious plan of working in this project for 500 years. Imagine possibilities open to you with infinite time in an infinite universe.
Gosh,
Well, you can.
it feels exhausting.
It's a big amount of time. Also, I don't know about you, but I don't remember like 99% of my life in detail. I remember big highlights, so even if I enjoyed Hawaii 10 years ago, I'll enjoy it again.
Are you thinking about that really practically, as in terms of in the same way that Brian Johnson is? Brian Johnson is convinced that we're like maybe 2 decades away from being able to extend life. Are you thinking about that practically, and are you doing anything about it?
Diet, nutrition. I try to think about investment strategies which pay out in a million years. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
What do you mean? Of course.
Why wouldn't you? If you think this is what's going to happen, you should try that. So if we get AI right, now what happens to economy? We talked about WorldCoin, we talked about free labor. What's money? Is it now Bitcoin? Do you invest in that? Is there something else which becomes the only resource we cannot
So
fake?
tell us, we want to
So
know.
those things are very important research topics.
Come on,
So you're investing in Bitcoin?
give
aren't
it to us.
Yeah,
Come on, bro, don't do that.
Because it's,
Yeah.
it's the only scarce resource. Nothing else has scarce.
Tell us what's going on. Give us the sauce. Stop. What did you just see? He does not want to tell us. With much greater purpose, I fulfill it, I believe. You may be right. You may be right. I also have these thoughts. It could be true.
Everything else, if price goes up, will make more. I can make as much gold as you want, given a proper price point. You cannot make more Bitcoin.
Some people say Bitcoin is just this thing on a computer that we all agreed was valuable.
We are a thing on a computer.
Okay, this is the guy saying that AI can find any kind of ways of doing anything. You don't think that artificial super intelligence cannot figure out how to make more Bitcoin, or how to like, I don't know, I'm not super intelligent, but you don't think we can figure out like other ways of doing something about that? I don't know.
Remember?
Okay, so
I'm not
I mean,
tech savvy like
not
that. I don't know how
investment
Bitcoin is made.
investment advice.
Was made.
It's hilarious how that's one of those things where they tell you it's not, but you know it is immediately. Your call is important to us. That means your call is of zero importance, and investment is like that.
yeah, when they say no investment advice, it's definitely investment advice, but it's not investment advice. Okay, so you're bullish on Bitcoin because it can't be messed with.
It is the only thing which we know how much there is in the universe. So gold, there could be an asteroid made out of pure gold heading towards us, devaluing it. Well, also killing all of us, but Bitcoin, I know exactly the numbers. And even the 21 million is an upper limit. How many are lost? Passwords forgotten. I don't know what Satoshi is doing with his million. It's getting scarcer every day, while more and more people are trying to accumulate it.
some people worry that it could be hacked with a supercomputer.
A quantum computer can break that algorithm. There is strategies for switching to quantum-resistant cryptography for that, and quantum computers are still kind of weak.
Do you think there's any changes to my life that I should make following this conversation? Is there anything that I should do differently the minute I walk out of this door?
I assume you already invest in Bitcoin heavily?
Yes, I'm an investor in Bitcoin.
This is financial advice. No, just you seem to be winning. Maybe it's your simulation. You're rich, handsome, you have famous people hang out with you. Like, that's pretty good. Keep it up. Robin Hanson has a paper about how to live in a simulation, what you should be doing in it. And your goal is to do exactly that. You want to be interesting, you want to hang out with famous people so they don't shut it down. So you are part of a part someone's actually watching on pay-per-view or something like that.
Oh, I don't know if you want to be watched on pay-per-view, because then it would be the same.
Then they shut you down. If no one's watching, why would they play it?
Bro, why
I'm
did he
saying,
say that? Now I feel like I'm being watched.
Fly under the radar, don't you want to be the guy just living a normal life that the masters...
Those are NPCs. Nobody wants to be an NPC.
Are you religious?
Somebody has to
Not
be.
in any traditional sense, but I believe in simulation hypothesis, which has a super intelligent being. So
But you don't believe in the, like, you know, the religious books?
So different religions. This religion will tell you don't work Saturday. This one, don't work Sunday. Don't eat pigs. Don't eat cows. They just have local traditions on top of that theory. That's all it is. They're all the same religion. They all worship super intelligent being. They all think this world is not the main one. And they are
Yeah, I saw the simulation thing. Not the simulation, the holographic
concentrate on what do all the religions have in common.
holographic reality.
And that's the interesting part.
That's what it
They
is
all
called.
think there is something greater than humans. Very capable, all-knowing, all-powerful. Then I run a computer game. 4 of those characters in a game, I am that. I can change the whole world, I can shut it down. I know everything in the world.
It's funny, I was thinking earlier on when we started talking about the simulation theory that there might be something innate in us that has been left from the creator, almost like a clue, like an intuition. Because that's what we tend to have through history. Humans have this intuition
Yeah.
that all the things you said are true, that there's this somebody above, and that...
Well, we have generations of people who were religious, who believed God told them and was there and gave them books. And that has been passed on for many generations. This is probably one of the earliest generations not to have universal religious belief.
I wonder if those people are telling the truth. I wonder if there's those people that say God came to them and said something. Imagine that. Imagine if that was part of this.
I'm looking at the news today. Something happened an hour ago, and I'm getting different conflicting results. I can't even get with cameras, with drones, with like guy on Twitter there. I still don't know what happened. And you think 3,000 years ago we have accurate record of translations? No, of course not.
You know, these conversations you have around AI safety, do you think they make people feel good?
I don't know if they feel good or bad, but people find it interesting. It's one of those topics, so I can have a conversation about different cures for cancer with an average person. But everyone has opinions about AI. Everyone has opinions about simulation. It's interesting that you don't have to be highly educated or a genius to understand those concepts.
Because I tend to think that it makes me feel not positive. And I understand that, but I've always been of the opinion that you shouldn't live in a world of delusion where you're just seeking to be positive, have sort of positive things said and avoid uncomfortable conversations. Actually, progress often in my life comes from like having uncomfortable conversations, becoming aware about something, and then at least being informed about how I can do something about it. And so I think that's why I asked the question, because I assume most people should, if they're normal human beings, listen to these conversations and go, gosh, that's scary, and this is concerning. And then I keep coming back to this point, which is like, what do I do with that energy?
Yeah, but I'm trying to point out this is not different than so many conversations. We can talk about, oh, there is starvation in this region, genocide in this region, you're all dying, cancer is spreading, autism is up, you can always find something to be very depressed about and nothing you can do about it. And we are very good at concentrating on what we can change, what we are good at, and basically not trying to embrace the whole world as a local environment. So historically, you grew up with a tribe, you had a dozen people around you. If something happened to one of them, it was very rare. It was an accident. Now, if I go on the internet, somebody gets killed everywhere all the time. Somehow, thousands of people are reported to me every day. I don't even have time to notice. It's just too much. So I have to put filters in place. And I think this topic is what people are very good at filtering as like, this was this entertaining talk I went to, kind of like a show, and the moment I exit, it ends. So usually I would go give a keynote at a conference, and I tell them, basically, you're gonna die, you have 2 years left, any questions? And people be like, will I lose my job? How do I lubricate my sex robot? Like, all sorts of nonsense, clearly not understanding what I'm trying to say there. And those are good questions, interesting questions, but not fully embracing the result. They're still in their bubble of local versus global.
And the people that disagree with you the most as it relates to AI safety, what is it that they say? What are their counter-arguments, typically?
So many don't engage at all.
Maybe
Like,
we
they have no background knowledge in a subject. They never read a single book, single paper, not just by me, by anyone. They may be even working in a field, so they are doing some machine learning work for some company, maximizing ad clicks. And to them, those systems are very narrow. And then they hear that, oh, this AI is going to take over the world. They're like, it has no hands. How would it do that? It's nonsense. This guy is crazy. He has a beard. Why would I listen to him, right? That's then they start reading a little bit. They go, oh, okay, so maybe AI can be dangerous. Yeah, I see that. But we always solved problems in the past. We're going to solve them again. I mean, at some point, we fixed a computer virus or something, so it's the same. And basically, the more exposure they have, the less likely they are to keep that position. I know many people who went from super careless developer to safety researcher. I don't know anyone who went from I worry about AI safety to like there is nothing to worry about.
What are your closing statements?
Let's make sure there is not a closing statement we need to give for humanity. Let's make sure we stay in charge, in control. Let's make sure we only build things which are beneficial to us. Let's make sure people who are making those decisions are remotely qualified to do it. They are good not just at science, engineering, and business, but also have moral and ethical standards. And if you're doing something which impacts other people, you should ask their permission before you do that.
If there was one button in front of you and it would shut down every AI company in the world right now, permanently, with the inability for anybody to start a new one, would you press the button?
Are we losing narrow AI or just super intelligent AGI part?
Losing all of AI.
That's a hard question because AI is extremely important. It controls stock market, power plants, it controls hospitals. It would be a devastating accident. Millions of people would lose their lives.
Okay, we can keep narrow AI.
Oh yeah. That's what we want. We want narrow AI to do all this for us, but not God we don't control doing things to us.
So you would stop it, you would stop AGI and superintelligence.
We have AGI. What we have today is great for almost everything. We can make secretaries out of it. 99% of economic potential of current technology has not been deployed. We make AI so quickly, it doesn't have time to propagate through the industry, through technology. Something like half of all jobs are considered BS jobs. They don't need to be done, bullshit jobs. So those can be not even automated, they can be just gone. But I'm saying we can replace 60% of jobs today with existing models. We're not done that. So if the goal is to grow economy, to develop, we can do it for decades without having to breed super intelligence as soon as possible.
Do you think globally, especially in the Western world, unemployment's only going to go up from here? Do you think relatively this is the low of unemployment?
I mean, it fluctuates a lot with other factors. There are wars, there's economic cycles, but overall, the more jobs you automate and the higher is the intellectual necessity to start a job, the fewer people qualify.
So if we plotted it on a graph over the next 20 years, you're assuming unemployment's gradually going to go up over that time?
I think so. Fewer and fewer people would be able to contribute. Already, we kind of understand it because we created minimum wage. We understood some people don't contribute enough economic value to get paid anything really. So we had to force employers to pay them more than they're worth. And we haven't updated it. It's what, 725 federally in the US? If you keep up with the economy, it should be like $25 an hour now. Which means all these people making less are not contributing enough economic output to justify what they're getting paid.
We have a closing tradition on this podcast where the last guest leaves a question for the next guest, not knowing who they're leaving it for. And the question left for you is, what are the most important characteristics for a friend, colleague, or mate?
Those are very different types of people. But for all of them, loyalty is number one.
And what does loyalty mean to you?
Not betraying you, not screwing you, not cheating on you.
Despite the temptation.
Despite the world being as it is, situation, environment.
Dr. Roman, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing what you do, because you're starting a conversation and pushing forward a conversation and doing research that is incredibly important, and you're doing it in the face of a lot of skeptics. I'd say there's a lot of people that have a lot of incentives to discredit what you're saying and what you do because they have their own incentives and they have billions of dollars on the line and they have their jobs on the line potentially as well. So it's really important that there are people out there that are willing to, I guess, stick their head above the parapet and come on shows like this and go on big platforms and talk about the unexplainable, unpredictable, uncontrollable future that we're heading towards. So thank you for doing that. This book, which I think everybody should check out if they want a continuation of this conversation, I think it was published in 2024, gives a holistic view on many of the things we've talked about today, preventing AI failures and much, much more. And I'm going to link it below for anybody that wants to read it. If people want to learn more from you, if they want to go further into your work, what's the best thing for them to do? Where do they go?
They can follow me on Facebook, follow me on X, just don't follow me home. Very important.
Okay, so I'll put your Twitter, your X account as well below so people can follow you there. And yeah, thank you so much for doing what you do. It's remarkably eye-opening and it's given me so much food for thought, and it's actually convinced me more that we are living in a simulation. But it's also made me think quite differently of religion, I have to say, because you're right, all the religions, when you get away from the sort of the local traditions, they do all point at the same thing. And actually, if they are all pointing at the same thing, then maybe the fundamental truths that exist across them should be something I pay more attention to. Things like loving thy neighbor, things like the fact that we are all one, that there's a divine creator, and maybe also they all seem to have consequence beyond this life. So maybe I should be thinking more about how I behave in this life and where I might end up thereafter. Roman, thank you.
Amen.
Cool. I'm going to sleep. Yeah, it's like I think 3 people that I see lately talking about it, yeah. So everybody's getting really worried about it. Maybe it's time for us to also start making plans for the future. Bye. I'm gone. I'm so tired. Why have I lipstick over my lips?